I want to talk a little bit about gratitude in the martial arts. And before I do, I have a list of people I want to mention. Now, this is not to be a sycophant to them and blow smoke up their ass. This is because I'm grateful to every one of these people because martial arts has really improved my life. Martial arts is something I train every day. It gives me something to do. And since I've been a martial artist, I have never been bored because if I don't have something to do, I can always go train. All right, first I would like to mention Barry Northey. He was my Mantis Kung Fu instructor, and he is the one that first introduced me to a really good instructor. Barry is a great human being, and because of him, I was very particular about the instructors that I spent my time with and spent my money on. But here we go. I'm going to try and make this list fast. Ajahn Song, my first Muay Thai instructor. Guru Norm Stackhouse and Guru Ross Dodamal, who started me on my journey into Filipino martial arts. Guru Louis Lindo, who continued inspiring me throughout my life. Guru Ed Wong, who is my modern Chamandi instructor and an amazing combatives and martial arts instructor. Master Bill Thurston, my first Balintawak instructor. Actually, my second, because Guru Louis Lindo was the first person who started teaching me Balintawak, but he recommended Master Bill. And of course, Grandmaster Bobby Tabuada, who was the head of the system of Balintawak that I trained in, and someone who helped me along the way with advice and things like that. He is an amazing Balintawak man, one of the best Filipino martial artists in the world. All right, after that, I got to mention Guru Sunny Padilla and Maestro Grandmaster Norman Swanico, who taught me a little bit of Illustrissimo Kali. I can't forget Maestro Paulo Pagaling, who is my De Campo instructor and has really helped me along my way and is one of the most brilliant Filipino martial artists in the world as far as I'm concerned. And of course, Master Jomelin Caballero, who is the inheritor of the art of De Campo. Jason Schultz, who started me in my training in the Medusa Edged Weapons system. Mike and Seth Raymond, who have given me so much advice over the years with Medusa and are the creators of the Medusa Edged Weapons system. Dean Franco, who helped me in my journey into Western Piper and is the head of Western Piper, and Bernard Letty, who's been helping me with some Irish stick fighting. And there are more who've just done little sessions with me here and there and seminar trained. I also can't forget James Keating, who has influenced me through conversation and advice over the years. He is a great man and a very, very intellectual knife expert. Everybody should seek him out who wants to practice the blade. Now, I also can't forget Terry Trahan, who's given me some great advice on fighting over the years, and I follow him on his Patreon. He is a brilliant man. I mean, there's so many people I've read. Oh, Randy King, who really cemented some of my self-defense. I brought him out for some workshops. Man, that guy is brilliant. If I'm forgetting someone here, I am sorry, but there are so many influences. And here's the thing. If you give respect to those who influenced you, even just occasionally, you will look like a better person and you'll be creating a positive sphere of influence on social media. I've also gotten some great advice from Scott Babb and Lee Morrison, who both may be a little infamous in my circle, but my experience with them was very generous and supportive. Lee actually gave me some great advice that helped me in a very hard moment in my life, and I cannot express gratitude without mentioning that. I know this is getting arduous, but there is a point to this. So please bear with me as I also talk about my training partners and students who have helped me along the way. Phil Hercom, Rob Zellick, Jason Pelfrey, Keith Young, Dan DeVille, Nova Bell, Gerald Volk, Sifu Bob from Reflex Flow, Pierre-Luc Belanger, Tyson Hersher, Greg Bennett, Rod. I mean, man, there's so many. Angela, Josh, and Greg Quinton. There's just a bevy of people who've helped me and trained with me. Eric and Ron from Abbotsford, John Henn, Kevin Goad, who was a student and now is a mentor, Eric and Andrew and John Reed from our Calgary class, Michael Holdsworth. I know I could not do this without this kind of support. So you might be wanting me to get to the point, and here it is. This is my challenge to all the self-actualized martial artists and combatives instructors who are out there doing their own thing. Take a moment and publicly acknowledge those who influenced you in a big and in a small way. This is not hard to do. This is not something that will take away anything from you. It won't make you look weak. It'll actually make you look strong, because nobody who does any kind of martial arts or combatives has done so in a vacuum. We've all had our influences, and even if we are trying to do our own thing, it is those influences that shaped what we do, and they deserve recognition. In my opinion, you may not believe that, because some of you may follow the old school ways of keeping your background secret, and I don't know, arguably that is more traditional when it comes to arts like Arnis and Eskrima than acknowledging your masters, unless you're currently working in a specific system. I mean, let's be honest, we have a culture of fighting that many of the great grandmasters hid who they learned from by telling tales of blind princesses, Moro princes, and the like, just so people didn't know where their art came from and to create mystique about themselves. If you want to follow that tradition, that is your business and your choice. However, lately I've been seeing a lot of controversy about stolen systems and stolen curriculums. And you know what? If you list your influences, then there's no denial that you didn't steal the system. You've just adapted it to your own system. And if your system is exactly the same as the other person's, then that may be plagiarism. However, plagiarism is hard to pin in martial arts, as there are only so many ways to move the body. And movement that works in combat is universal and cross-cultural. However, specific curriculums can be traced to a specific instructor and a specific system, as well as certain training drills. This is why we can recognize systems like Balintawak when we watch people move. If you really understand a system, you will be able to recognize it in other people's movements quite well. Keep in mind that showing gratitude doesn't mean blindly obeying different grandmasters and stuff. What it means is that you give them credit for what you have chosen to take from them in your own system. Because when someone teaches you something, it is yours to do with what you will. But in the end, you should give credit to where you got it from. Thank you. If you are so inclined, please support my Patreon.